Hello everyone. I'm making this video in English so that people who are not able to comprehend Tamil can also understand my perspective of the absurdities that's happening in the government of Tamil Nadu, led by Tamilaka Vetri Kazhagam. I'm very much appalled by the way in which the ministers handle questions very insensitively on an issue which is child sexual abuse that happened in Sulur a couple of days ago. Party cadres and supporters of this government have been asking questions to anyone who raised voice against sexual violence by saying that how are we as a government or how is the chief minister as an individual is responsible for any sexual violence that's happening across the state. I would like to point out that this party came into power because during their election campaigning, they mentioned that the previous governments have failed in ensuring the safety of women, and they have some magical techniques to improve the safety of women, and that is why they were voted to power. And secondly, I personally believe uh, that Mr. C. Joseph Vijay is individually responsible for any sexual violence happening against women and children for the following reasons. Firstly, during the election campaigning, Mr. C. Joseph Vijay used children in his campaigning. That means he appealed to the children by saying that he is their maternal uncle and he is now requesting them to go convince their parents, their relatives, and their neighbors to vote for him and his party. So when you say that you are someone's maternal uncle, you have the responsibility to protect the child when some violence happens to them, individually to each of the child across the state. Well, firstly, this is wrong at different levels. According to the Election Commission of India, you're not supposed to use children in your campaigning. But nevertheless, Mr. C. Joseph Vijay did that, and Tamilaka Vetri Kalagam still was able to form the government in Tamil Nadu. This is very wrong, bro. Secondly, Mr. C. Joseph Vijay, before becoming the chief minister, was an actor. He acted in popular movies in Tamil, which was usually reinforcing the ideas of patriarchy, had misogynistic dialogues such as women should dress modestly. If you dress with revealing clothes, then people will come and abuse you, and you have to bear that. So, and women are usually, confined to the kitchen, or they should be responsible for raising the children, and so on. And or otherwise, there are these male savior complex ideas. So these are movies that he has acted and amassed wealth and gained popularity. And yet, after coming to public life as a politician, he never apologized for any of what he had done before. And he had also not issued a statement saying that whatever I've done in movies might have been exaggeration for fiction. But in reality, people should respect women, and the youngsters of Tamil Nadu or the party cadres of his own party should respect women. He never did that. Secondly, he had, in his own personal life, during the election campaigning, there were crises that unfolded, which is uh, Mr. C. Joseph Vijay's partner had to get a legal separation, and the party cadres and the supporters of Mr. C. Joseph Vijay really abused her to the extent of calling her names. And in those conditions, anyone who had lived with somebody for 2 decades would come and stand up for them. But Mr. C. Joseph Vijay chose not to stand up and instead said that that is not worth his time. And on top of it, he never instructed the party members or anyone not to interfere in his personal life and to make comments on women in an abusive way. So, let alone on his own ex spouse. So, that is the other point. And then there were one of the movies that was supposed to be released, Jananayagan, uh, was leaked by some malicious intended person. And one of the party members of TVK, who belonged to Trichy district, he mentioned that whoever has released this movie with malicious intent um, will be wearing women's clothes and then go to the bus stand to beg, which means, in his opinion, women are downtrodden, and then people who wear women's clothes are supposed to just go and beg and not do any meaningful jobs. So when he said that, the party didn't condemn, the leader didn't say that this is wrong, and there were never condemnation from the party side. And all of this leads to one thing, that any kind of sexual abuse happens because of misogynistic ideas. It stems from patriarchy and not from people wearing certain kind of clothes, and not from people going outside at certain time of the day, and not from people being drunk, or not from people are lured by candies. So these are the reasons that people are giving every time when sexual abuse happens, and they are still giving the same reasons, and they have not had any magical ways to improve the safety of women. So Mr. Vijay is responsible individually for any sexual violence that's happening across the state, according to me.